Hey, last time chatter here, glizzy, stay safe with the fires nearby. I mean, people have been telling me this. It's been nice. I mean, a lot of people have messaged me, stay safe with the fires. It's not my choice, bro. the fire takes me or it doesn't. What am I gonna do? All I'm doing is I'm going on Twitter and asking to buy private firefighters. Did you guys see that tweet? That is hilarious. Just catch everybody up. There is a massive amount of fires going on in LA. If you don't know, it's crazy. You should follow the news. There's a massive amount of fires happening all over LA, but especially the Palisades, which is like I guess a nicer area of LA, is seeing massive destruction of homes. It's terrible. Fires are sweeping through and they're barely able to battle it. The winds are super high. My power was knocked out from the wind, not even the fire. The winds are gale force. It's insane. But the disaster in the Palisades, it's horrendous, man. It's crazy. But this guy, Keith Wasserman, and again, I can understand the instinct. It's your house. You want to do whatever you can to protect it. But this rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. He said, does anyone have access to private firefighters to protect our home in Pacific Palisades? Need to act fast here. We'll pay any amount. Thank you. This is a very rich guy. And I just want to express, there's a lot of people actually defending him. And I can understand the argument that like, listen, bro, when it comes to your house, you're going to do whatever, you're going to try whatever it takes. And his house did burn down, which is terrible. Okay. Nobody was hurt for him and his family, but they did lose property. He's very rich. I think he'll be fine, but it still sucks. However, you have to understand the reason people find this so distasteful is the concept of private firefighters is another aspect, a really damning aspect of people with money detaching themselves from society and having a different set of rules. The idea that a private firefighter would allow someone with money to survive a fire while a regular person burns is insane. The idea of private firefighters existing is crazy because it implies a world where rich people are not paying in to having a functioning firefighting system for all of society. It is just paying in to have their own personal fiefdoms protected. It's crazy. I mean, one good thing I took away from that book, As Gods Among Men, which is about the wealthiest people in history throughout history, one of the themes of that book, it was a pretty boring book, I'll be honest, pretty dry. But one of the themes was that throughout most of history, there's always very wealthy. There's always some kind of elite class. Every society, bro, it always happens. But when they work, the very elite are extremely intertwined into society and feel like they have to use their money to benefit it. But when they feel like they're on Elysium, when they feel like they're on a separate plane and they only pay for things that are of direct benefit to them, it's crazy. It's a two-tiered system. And we already have that for a lot of things. You have it for travel, you have it for toll roads, you have it for being able to live near where you work. There's a lot of things where being wealthy is a massive advantage in just day-to-day life. But for things like police and firefighters, it's supposed to be society-wide. It's supposed to be access to everybody, especially firefighters. Like the last one, everyone. So this is like the idea of private firefighters rubbed everybody the wrong way. And I think this guy deservedly got dragged, even if he personally, it's almost like I don't blame him personally, but I don't think he can be mad that everyone's mad. You know what I'm saying? It's like he started a conversation that's much bigger than him. He wants to protect his house. I get it. I get why in the moment, you know, you do whatever you do. If you have money, you're going to try to do what you can do. It's like, I'm not mad at him really. I just want to explain why everyone's so pissed at the idea of private firefighters. It's like the most stark, like, hey, we're going to have a different system for the wealthy. By the way, this is an insane throwback. The richest person in Rome, ancient Rome, I believe, at one point, again, I'm mixing some things here, but the richest person in ancient Rome, I believe, started a private firefighter industry business when Crassus, when buildings were burning down in Rome. In fact, the idea was, I think he or some of his men would start the fires and then he would take massive payments to protect whatever was left of them and then made the most amount of money in ancient Rome. So there's a real grind set there. There's a real grind set. It's honest work. It's honest work. Someone's got to do it. Someone has to start fires and then offer you money to save what's left of your property or offer you an exorbitant price. It's hard to blame when there's something traumatic going on. Yeah, again, I don't have no real personal problem with Keith Wasserman here in this tweet, but I just want to explain to people that are all defending the idea why people will be pissed at it. I'm trying to explain the idea of like, why would someone be upset about a private firefighter tweet? And I think that's the reason. It's just another sign of like complete detachment from the wealthy, from the rules of the rest of society. You know, the idea is that we all buy in and make these systems as good as they can so they protect all of us. If they don't, and you're getting your own private system and poor people are going to burn, it's crazy. The public system isn't working in this case. Yeah, but it's because of people like that defunding the bigger system, not wanting to pay taxes, not wanting to support broad-based funding for things that are public goods. When you start allowing that kind of two-tier system, it removes all the incentive for those with any wealth or power to even care whether the system works. Do you know what I'm saying? The takeaway from this, if you have one firefighter system, is like, hey, if I'm a rich person in LA, we need to make sure this shit is well-funded, well-stocked, we got everything we need for the future. If the takeaway becomes, we need to have a private firefighter system, that's the wrong takeaway. Do you understand? It's like Trauma Team in Cyberpunk. Exactly. Anyway, obviously I hired private firefighters. Of course, that's why I'm streaming here today. It's like a 3-tier system, okay? It's regular people, rich people, and then streamers. I don't think rich people should have a separate system, but I think streamers should, because streamers are a different breed. What I do is I have my moderators do it. So I've got Yeti out there with a bucket, and he's just tossing, the fire's right at my doorstep, but Yeti's keeping it at bay. Anyway, another thing I want to talk about, I got a lot to say about the fires. I got a lot to say about it. It's got me, pardon the pun, heated. This is happening in Florida as well, and it needs to be explained. I know that everyone hates insurance companies, okay? However, I want to point out something very stupid that happens when people think they can change the law of supply and demand. Insurance companies naturally recognize, because this is their business, hey, the risk of fire, catastrophic fire in LA and the LA area is going up. We're gonna have to raise our premiums. We're gonna charge you more. We can tell the risk is going up and nothing is being done to stop it. We have to charge you more money for fire insurance. Everybody complains to the government. They says, what the fuck? This is too expensive. The government of California passes a law saying it's illegal for fire insurance companies to predict the future. They can only look at past data to make their charging. They cannot predict future fire increases. Absolutely asinine, stupid. The insurance companies naturally pull coverage because they know that the risk is higher than what they're saying it is. So they're not gonna offer you discount fire insurance they're guaranteed gonna lose money on. It'll bankrupt the company, okay? They're not gonna do it. So many fire insurance companies in California have pulled coverage over the past year because they're not gonna offer it at a price that they can't afford. It doesn't make sense. So it's harder to get fire insurance coverage in LA. Thereby, when we have this massive fire right now, there are a huge number of people that are uninsured for fire, making this catastrophic on a much bigger scale. It's insane to think that if you pass some kind of magic law, you can change the fundamental economic reality of fire insurance. You either have to make it less likely by making the place safer against fire, or you have to allow them to charge higher rates. Only in the short term can you pretend that you've solved the problem by banning the ability to predict the future. And the same thing is happening right now with like hurricane flooding, other disaster insurance in Florida. Insurance companies are just leaving the state. They're not gonna offer it in Florida when they know there's gonna be a disaster soon. Do you know what I'm saying? And everyone's just plugging their ears like, nah, we don't want to pay. If you're in a high-risk area, you're gonna have to pay higher insurance premiums. That's what insurance is. Whatever you think of insurance companies, that just makes sense. I just want to talk about how stupid that is. I get so frustrated with governments anywhere that think they can sort of like trick the laws of economics. They can somehow magic their way out of it, and it doesn't work like that. Florida state-funded homeowners insurance began insolvent. Yeah, exactly. And then, because people still want to have it and they want it cheap, they have the government of their state try to offer it. There's like California government fire insurance you can get, and there's Florida hurricane insurance you can get through the government. First of all, it's more difficult to get. Second of all, it doesn't really cover you. Third of all, it's not funded. So it becomes a statewide bankruptcy. They don't have the money for it. It's just praying that the disaster doesn't happen. It's at a fundamental level. It's really stupid. The solution should be to make it less risky, to find ways to reduce the chance of fire. Yeah, make fires bigger than a certain size illegal. Dude, they're like not far off from doing that. It's so stupid. No, that's a good idea. We should pass a law making big fires illegal. If we just ban it, I find it to be so stupid. It pisses me off. People think premiums are made on dartboard. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Listen, I'm not a advocate for insurance companies, bro. There's plenty, especially with denials of claims that are true. However, in general, they are good assessors of risk. It's their job. And en masse, fire insurance is not like a high profit. It's like I don't even know what their profit margin is, but it's low, especially in a place like California. The issue is with this stupid law. The way we reduce big fires is regular little fires. Controlled burns are crazy effective. That's what I was telling the cop. He was so mad at me because I was walking around California throwing matches everywhere for the past 3 months. And they were yelling at me, and I was like, no, this is gonna help. This is gonna fucking help. And everyone was up my fucking ass about it. It's crazy, dude. What is wrong with this country? People believe inexpensive, all-encompassing insurance is the right they're entitled to as opposed to the business it is. Yeah, I mean, okay, if you do believe that, then I guess you could work together as a state to pass a law saying we're going to keep some of our taxes towards this massive, I mean, basically huge, massive subsidy for rich homeowners. You could do that. I mean, you could say all of our taxes are going toward a massive subsidy to rich homeowners, which is fine if you wanted to do that. We could pool our resources towards that goal. However, what you cannot do is say you want that, don't fund it, so don't put any taxes toward it, just have it be completely underfunded, and ban private companies from doing a normal price insurance. That is just hopium. That is an entire hopium strategy, which is what both California and Florida have with regards to disasters. They have hopium, a hopium-based strategy. The strategy is to burn the fires around the houses around you so that the fire has no way to get to you. That's pretty smart. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, controlled burns of your neighbor's house.